Brendan, what are you crying for?
Where did I go wrong?
Every move was the right move.
I did the Jungle movie.
Yep.
I was George.
You're right.
I was George of the Jungle.
You were George of the Jungle.
I was in the movie with the Harrison Ford, the Doctor
Right.
movie.
Yep. Fantastic. Good decision. And you were also in that Dudley Do-Right movie.
I did the Looney Tunes.
You did.
I thought Warner Brothers
Excellent career choices.
Warner Brothers would give me a job for life.
Brendan, I don't know what you're upset about. Look, we've got this movie coming up for you. Now, Jonathan Turturro's gonna be in it.
Okay.
We've also got Chris Kattan. He's real hot on Saturday Night Live right now.
I thought he just left the show.
Well, he was hot. He's clearly gonna go through the roof.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Bridget Fonda is in this movie.
Fonda?
Bridget Fonda is in this movie.
Hollywood royalty.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't see it as Dave Foley, one of the most talented kids in the hall, is going to be in it.
I'm not familiar, but continue.
You're Canadian. How can you not be familiar with Kids in the Hall? Brendan, come on.
Yeah, I know them.
Okay. Anyhow, he's going to be in this movie. All right? It's directed by one of the guys who directed The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's going to be huge. Gonna be huge. Trust me. Just sign the papers. We can get to it. Your career is just gonna go skyrocketing after this.
Brendan Fraser is back.
Yeah! And that's kind of the story of Brendan Fraser's career trajectory and all the choices that he made. He is a terrible, terrible agent.
He wasn't back.
Not at all. No. Yeah.
Monkeys everywhere.
Show me the monkey!
I realized we didn't do this last week, but I am Brendan.
And I'm Nathan.
And we are in studio.
Together.
For the second time.
I know, right?
Crazy. And we are talking about the film Monkeybone.
Monkeybone.
Which was sent to us by Lindsay.
Thank you, because it definitely cleansed the palate of the Garbage Pail Kids.
Fuck you, Garbage Pail Kids.
It doesn't start out promising. I will say that. At first you see someone's painting something, that's real nice, but then you cut to what is essentially a pilot pitch for Monkeybone.
Which apparently, according to the IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, that is actually director Henry Selick that is doing all the drawings at the beginning.
Oh, is it really?
It is.
Interesting. He's the one, he actually helped direct Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, which I think Brendan Fraser's agent mentioned
yes.
earlier. Did he just leave?
He just left.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
And
see you later, man.
See you. The movie, it makes a lot of sense that he would be involved with those two movies because a lot of the visuals that happen, especially in the downtown scenes, very Tim Burton-esque without a lot of the goth undertones.
Yeah, and this is a strange thing because this movie, we gotta say, right off the bat, this movie is a cataclysmic failure at the box office.
$75 million.
$7.6 million gross.
Yeah.
Like,
that's 10%
barely
of its budget
10%.
back.
Yeah. And that's not even, again, that's not even counting marketing costs.
Yeah.
And it's
but it's understandable. I mean, look, the cast that's in this movie. I mean, they were all of them at the time, with the exception of Giancarlo Esposito, who would later rocket to stardom, were all, decent draws. Mm-hmm. I mean, legitimately, Dave Foley, Fresh All Kids in the Hall, and he was doing news radio, I think, at the time. Brendan Fraser, who actually had some pretty decent star power, had done The Mummy, was in Encino Man, was kind of like a late 90s cinema fad for a while. School Ties, that's a fantastic movie.
I like to think of him as Hollywood's, not first maybe, but definitely one of Hollywood's like goofball actors.
Yeah.
Like he definitely did a lot of he was known for, I think, doing a lot of goofy roles.
Which is a shame because he actually does have range. The guy can act.
If you want to, Crash, he's really good at Crash.
Yeah. Or even, you know what, if you want to, I guess in some degree to prove it in this movie. Because he goes from playing kind of like this morose, nervous, depressed kind of guy who's afraid of his own success to be an outright zany when he's, later in the movie.
Just wacky.
Yeah. So I mean, this movie is it's this weird perfect storm of terribleness. It on the surface, the idea is an intriguing idea. It's been done before, but it's still an intriguing idea. The visuals are really cool. Like the stuff they do in the downtown in the coma or whatever, the coma land, that looks really cool. Like how they're handling death and almost like purgatory, very very nice. The actors in it are good actors, but it's one of those things that's like, you know, Robert De Niro is cool. Guitars are cool. There is a picture of Robert De Niro holding a guitar that proves that is not cool at all. And that's what this movie is. Like, there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good elements to go into this movie, but it is not good in any legitimate way.
Yeah. It, like you said earlier, it was certainly easier to sit through than last week's.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it wasn't fun. I enjoyed watching this movie.
But as a legitimate movie, it's quite bad.
Yeah.
This is just okay. Just to give you an idea of like, I feel like this movie sat in development hell for a long time. This feels like one of those movies that just went through a million rewrites.
That sounds plausible.
Now, just to give you an idea of where they might have been going in a different direction before this movie, did you see who was supposed to originally play a couple of the roles?
No.
Okay. So, Brendan Fraser's role in this movie was originally offered to Nicolas Cage.
Oh my.
And the devil, I think she's the devil, right? Lucifer?
Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah.
Death,
sorry.
Yeah.
Death was originally going to be played by Christopher Walken.
Ooh.
I'm the angel of death, Barry.
Well, he had been before. He was in The Prophecy, so at least he got that role eventually.
So, imagine, like, how, like, but that's such a jump.
Yeah, that's a very different
That's from, like,
layout.
very serious, like,
yeah.
drama about... And it, like, wait, hold on. Does that mean that Nicolas Cage was going to be interacting with a cartoon monkey? Because if we missed out on that, I am very upset.
I did read that this is based on a graphic novel that never got a conclusion, from my understanding,
okay.
Which is unfortunate, because it does play out a lot like it does in the movie, and that, you know, a guy goes into a coma, and but there's a few subtle differences. It's not the sister pushing to pull the plug. It's his wife is struggling with the issue of pulling the plug or not pulling the plug, sort of thing. So there are some changes to it, but the art style looks it's really interesting. It's definitely very. It's one of those movies where it's like I understand why someone would want to make a movie out of it, but it's not one of those properties that's so well known that it would be boffo at the box office.
Yeah, and like it's a weird thing of like Brendan Fraser was still a big name, I would think, but it's just such a weird combination of like ideas and story that it just didn't sell.
So the property that it's based on, it's a lot less Ghost Rider and a lot more Ghost World.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, definitely. I guess I just have one more thing to say before we get going with the actual movie.
What were they thinking? That's it. Closed. Done.
And cut. I found an article. Well, it wasn't an article. It was more of an Instagram post, but it was an article about said Instagram post by Rose McGowan, who was in this movie. Go ahead.
Rose McMeowan. But she's a kitty cat and she looks super sexy.
Agreed on both accounts. But she actually posted a picture of herself from the movie, and she wrote a little thing here that she said, the movie would have been incredible, at least the underworld part, she says, if the men at 20th Century Fox hadn't fired the director, apparently, a true artist, Henry Selick, halfway through filming.
I did not know that. So
that might account for some of the awkwardness in parts of the movie that just seems like almost like a different movie. She says his dismissal was a profoundly stupid move. She said Selick had already directed James and the Giant Peach and later went on to direct Coraline, both of which she calls tremendous pieces of work.
And they are.
And she says what Fox Studios turned this film into because of their fear and lack of artistic thinking was a travesty. They truly robbed us, the audience, of a possible classic. Now, that being said, a lot of times, you remember the director of that horrible Fantastic Four movie.
You're gonna have to be way more specific than that.
The most recent one.
Okay.
Josh Trank.
Yeah.
He went on social media on like a tirade after the movie came out and said, they recut my movie, they changed everything. It was like so good before the studio got their hands on it.
Believe me, it was huge. I built the wall.
Yeah. I don't always believe that. Like 90% of the time, I call bullshit on a lot of that, but
this sounds legit.
This sounds legitimate.
Yeah. Because, I mean, she's right. The two movies that she cites as proof are fantastic movies.
If you look up the movies he's directed, he hasn't directed another movie which people would consider bad, I don't think.
And this movie, especially like she said, the Downtown, or Darktown, or whatever it's called,
is originally called Darktown.
That was the name of that was originally the name of the
studio. Apparently was afraid that they would have a cat character in a world called Darktown.
Okay.
They made some sort of racist connection.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. That's another thing.
I would have bought it more if they had said that they were afraid of connection with the movie Dark World.
Yeah.
Dark City. Dark City. Right? Sorry, Dark World is what we're talking about. But yeah, the Downtown is there's some really cool, I guess, glimpses of surreal greatness. Hopefully I'm not overstating, but I thought some of the stuff they did in Downtown was really cool.
Yeah,
like there was some really the very Beetlejuice type visuals going on in all of that, and it worked really well for what they were trying to get across.
Yeah, and it's definitely the best section of the movie. So let's get started.
Let's get into it, man.
12 minutes in, let's get started on the actual movie. Let's
start about
There's a lot of interesting background.
The cartoon about the flab boner.
So we start with...
This is the pilot for a TV show, by the way.
Yeah, the pilot is 90 seconds long?
Yeah, and it features a kid getting turned on by his teacher's flabby arms.
Yeah, an elderly teacher's flabby arms. He pops a boner, and then his monkey comes out and makes out with her. Yeah, so
right away you're like, Monkeybone is the name he gave his boner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Monkeybone is his boner.
Yep.
It
does make sense because, I mean, a lot of the id and ego stuff that plays out in this movie, he definitely is his id 100%.
This is about a man and his penis/monkey.
Which, is actually a slang for penis, so there you go.
Yeah, well, he even says later, I have to go catch my monkey, or whatever he says.
Choke
my monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I gotta say, like, the cartoon, if that was a real meeting, that cartoon would not get picked up.
No. It was very rough. And it almost, like, Dr. Katz was better, like, as far as visually.
Yeah.
So
we see that it's a pilot screening.
Oh, and it looks like something that you would see at Spike and Mike. Like Spike and Mike's Twisted Festival of Animation.
Oh, okay.
It's just like where, like, Don Hertzfeldt and Dr. Tran got its first kind of, if you guys are familiar with any of this stuff, if you're not, check out Don Hertzfeldt's Rejected and the short Here Comes Dr. Tran. Fantastic. I can't say enough about them. I nearly had an aneurysm while watching Here Comes Dr. Tran.
Wow, so if you're prone to aneurysms, maybe no.
All right. So, but yeah, it looks like it would belong in some an animation film festival where, like, Happy Tree Friends is shown.
Yeah.
Or, like, just really odd, weird underground cartoons.
Well, this is 2001. Was YouTube a thing?
No.
Because that looks like a YouTube video.
Yeah,
that somebody made with, like, their home computer.
Yeah, it wasn't at that time. It was shortly afterwards, but it wasn't at that time.
So we quickly meet Dave Foley.
Dave Foley.
What? Yeah.
It's fresh off Kids in the Hall.
Looking good.
Looking really good.
With his nice blonde haircut. But we learned Dave Foley is Brendan Fraser's agent / friend.
Publicist or whatever.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I thought right off the bat, I was like, okay, he's going to end up being a slime bag, and he kind of is a little bit, but he's also
doing his job.
He's also genuinely his friend.
Yeah.
Like, and that I thought that was kind of out of the box.
Well, if he's his agent, he wants him to succeed, because if Brendan Fraser succeeds, he gets 10% of that success.
For sure.
Or 15 or whatever their deal is.
Yeah, but
know.
I mean, it seems like he genuinely cares about him at times too, which is like it's fairly, I don't know. I thought that was good actually.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a positive aspect.
Yeah.
So Dave Foley comes out and says, it doesn't come out, but he walks up to the stage and he says, the Comedy Channel has picked up 6 episodes. So are we to believe that this is the length of an episode?
I don't know.
Are these 6 episodes going to be in just one episode?
Are they going to be like bumpers?
Yeah.
You know? Or are they going to stretch it out to like, 15 minutes like Aqua Teen Hunger Force or something?
Also, was it the Comedy Channel? Was that a thing as well with the Comedy Network?
Okay, here's the thing. In Canada, we have
Comedy Central.
We have the Comedy Network.
Oh, okay.
That's Canada, because that's where we're at. Canada, because we're Canadian.
In Canada.
He made a big deal about me giving it away in the last episode. We're from Canada.
Oh, no. Alienating our viewers.
That's right. No, we're not. We're super polite. Anyhow, we have the Comedy Network here in Canada. In the U.S., they had Comedy Central.
Right.
They didn't have, like, the Comedy Channel is just too generic. I don't think there would be.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought for a while it was being called the Comedy Channel, but maybe not.
No. From my understanding, Comedy Central has always been, even back before South Park, when they were really only had Mystery Science Theater, that was...
Greatest show on earth.
Yes, can't wait for the new episodes.
Well, actually, it should be up there today.
Huh?
Oh, wait, no. Come on. This is live, guys. No, I think in a few days they should be up.
Should be, yeah.
Up. And there's also like some best of stuff that's really good.
There's already some best of stuff on there,
yeah.
and it is actually a pretty good collection. There are a couple of glaring oversights, but I digress. We're going to talk about Mystery Science Theater. And I actually have to mention them later in the podcast.
Rant about them for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to say, movie related, but also just that Brendan Fraser and Dave Foley together again after A Blast from the Past, which a movie I genuinely...
Oh my god, I forgot about them being together in that movie.
Genuinely enjoy that movie.
That's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Criminally underrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're together, and they're like, they have a lot of scenes together in both movies.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
We meet his Brendan Fraser's girlfriend, played by Bridget Fonda.
Most nondescript performance in the whole movie, I think.
BF plus BF. BFFs. Bridget Fonda, Brendan Fraser.
Oh, shit. Do you think that's what the casting was?
That'd be the worst casting. Look, we got Brendan Fraser. We need somebody else with the same initials.
No logic in that casting whatsoever. No. We'll make millions if we get this formula right. Maybe that's why they fired Henry Selick. Really weird ideas.
There's like some OCD guy in the production. No, they have the same initials. Same initials.
Definitely.
This has to end exactly on a 10-minute mark. If it doesn't end on a 10-minute mark, I will be very upset.
400 straws. 400 straws, definitely.
Did you notice the Simpson artwork on the wall?
Yeah, it was just a Krusty the Clown framed photo.
There were other ones too, like
were there?
further in the background. But yeah, you could clearly tell this was Fox.
Weird for a Comedy Channel thing, though.
But it's owned by 20th Century Fox, right?
That's they just put that in there.
Yeah.
Which, oh no, never mind. 2001. Yeah, Simpsons was already huge at this time.
Yeah, definitely.
They were right. I think they were hitting their plateau at this time too. Like they were right about to go into the area.
Yeah, I would actually say they were about a year or two past it, because in my opinion, season 8 is like that's the money season for there's some fantastic things going on. Homer's Enemy with the Frank Grimes episode.
Oh, that's my favorite of all time.
Yeah, that's absolutely my favorite episode. So yeah, we get that, and then
we get the plot rolling pretty quickly. I gotta say. They do,
because Dave Foley, again as his agent or publicist, is trying to get, hey, check out this. Yeah,
this all these Monkeybone merchandise items start out as like okay, and they get pretty ridiculous. But Brendan Fraser kind of just doesn't want anything to do with it, which they don't do a great job at explaining. Like he just kind of doesn't like
he's almost like, I'm afraid of my success. I don't want to be successful. Why?
There's no real reason for it.
No.
Why are you afraid? Yeah. Like you've got like a
I have my note here. God, I hate my success and financial stability.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Maybe we're old. Like I don't know. Like as a person, like me, if I could get anything, any of my side project, any things that I'm doing for fun, if I could get paid buckets of money to do it, sign me up.
I'd sell out 100 times over.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit that too. If you want Montrose Monkington III foisting off your Chuli's gum, I will do it. I don't care.
Chuli's nice.
There you go.
Yeah, if you want to give me $1 million to be a garbage pail kid, sign me up.
Yeah. I would not turn it down. And anybody who says otherwise is a darn fool.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser, you darn fool.
Well, yeah, it's Stewart.
What?
Stu, that's his name in the movie. Stu.
Right, sorry, Stu.
Did you notice that the guys who loaded up all the Monkeybone merchandise looked like dudes who worked at Deep 13?
I did not.
They had like a Deep 13 green jumpsuits on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's your Mystery Science Theater.
That's why I said I had to mention them later, so I didn't want to get on too much of a tangent with them.
Yeah, so basically they show off all this merchandise, and he doesn't like his own success. We learned that he's gonna propose to his girlfriend, who again we've seen their relationship for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
like we don't really know a lot about it.
You do get the backstory eventually, which it's a sweet little backstory when you write down. If you ignore the fact that she's a doctor sleeping with one of her patients.
Yeah, that's right. And it's kind of balls out insane, too, when you really look at the story. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah. They're trying to back out, and they end up inflating one of the balloons or whatever.
Yeah, the Monkeybone balloons.
Which causes them to...
Which pushes on the gas pedal?
I guess, and it pushes... And they get into a car accident. That's the short and long here. They get into a car accident.
And it's not a very violent one.
No, but he's in a coma. He's not dead. He's in a coma.
Yeah, but they
At first I thought he was dead, because I even put... That's a pretty odd death. Because the way they treated it, he's like floating down through the...
Well, And like I didn't think, I don't know, like it didn't look that brutal. Like they just kind of hit the wall. They just kind of boop, and then like they were like, oh, he's in a coma.
It doesn't look like it would cause too much head trauma.
Yeah, well, I guess they had to suggest the fact that she had to be okay though, right? Yeah. So I mean, yeah. If they were both in a coma going to downtown,
but he goes to downtown, which at first I thought I hadn't seen this movie in a long time, like. Not as long as the last time I'd seen the Garbage Pail Kids movie, but it was still, there was a good distance of time between when I last saw this movie that I'd forgotten a good portion of it. So for me, it was essentially a first viewing almost.
Yeah. Lots of, this is, and like you were saying earlier, this is where you really get the Henry Selick touch. And
it's so cool. Like the stuff that, like the visuals and stuff, I immediately watched it. I'm like, man, this looks like Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
but without the the gothic stuff you get from Tim Burton. So that's when I immediately I was like, well, I got to look up a bit of this movie, and I looked it up while I'm watching it, and yeah, one of the directors from Nightmare Before Christmas. This makes a lot of sense.
I'm wondering too if he hired similar art people.
I mean, I that wouldn't surprise me at all, because usually, if you're, you work with the people that are professional.
Yeah.
That's how you get another job in the entertainment industry. And there's all these cool little jokes. Like when he first shows up, he goes to the luggage claim, and it's his psychological baggage.
Yeah.
And what was one of the things that was... There was a couple of really funny things that were in the bag. Now, I can't remember. I should have noted those, but I didn't.
I think there was a sketchbook, wasn't there?
Because a lot of the stuff that he's seeing in downtown when they get into it is all fueled by nightmares. And that's a thing for Stu / Brendan Fraser. Like, he... chronic nightmares.
Yeah, well, he did. He used to. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's where. Well,
that's how he met the Bridget Fonda.
Right.
Doc, as he affectionately calls her.
So this is another movie. I know I say this almost every time we do a movie like this, but I don't feel like he's the appropriate amount of scared. Until later, he does start to freak out a little bit, but especially someone like Brendan Fraser, you figure he's such like a bombastic. Like he could be like loud and over the top, and like he doesn't really do it.
Well, that's the thing. Like he's confused. I'm guessing for the reason for his underreaction is more that he is suffered from chronic nightmares. So he may either think he's sleeping or he's dreaming or something like that. And if he suffered from chronic nightmares, he may have like given himself things to help cope within dreams to say, like, am I dead? Like, ask questions and stuff like that when he finds out that, he's in a coma.
Yeah. So yeah, there's lots of crazy things going on. Lots of, like, cartoon characters and...
Rose McMeowan.
Rose McMeowan, because Rose McGowan is...
the sexiest cosplayer ever.
Oh, my Lord. I felt kind of bad at the same time. So I'm like, am I getting turned on by a person, like, with cat...
I know she's Rose McGowan, so I'm fine with it.
Rose McMeowan. Who, her character is strange. Because, like, she kind of... Like, I get that she's one of Stu's, like, creations, kind of? Like a nightmare? Or she's been in one of his dreams, I guess.
Well, anybody that's kind of present there, for the most part, it has been present in one of his dreams.
I'm wondering if she... Was she, like, a wet dream?
A very confused one.
He bought a cat and then saw a hot girl and had a dream right after.
There we go. That makes perfect sense.
There you go. She has a wet dream.
Wet kitty cat dream. It's gonna put that not to be crass, but would that be a wet pussy dream? So we kind of travel back and forth at this point now between downtown and the real world, and we find that Brendan Fraser's sister, played by Megan Mullally.
Mullally, yeah.
Mullally, sorry, from Will and Grace. I just have her as Will and Grace lady.
We'll just call her Will and Grace.
Wants to pull the plug. Why?
Yeah, I didn't. That's another thing.
That is never explained.
Their character motivations in this movie are not adequately explained at all.
Yeah, and this is one of the first, like, the divergence of the graphic novel versus the movie, because in the graphic novel, apparently, it was his wife struggling with the idea of possibly pulling the plug on her husband, and she's like, when can I do it? Where's the plug? Where's the plug that I can pull?
Yeah, she does the, like, faux sincerity thing, like, where she's like, oh, it's so sad. How long do you think he'll last? Like when, yeah.
They don't get into anything about, like, inheritances or...
No.
Anything like that.
And you don't... Like, I wouldn't think there would be any inheritance because he's turned down everything.
He is. You see his place, and he is
it's
a
not like
struggling artist.
Like, what is Megan Mullally going to start drawing the cartoons? Like, she's... the only time you see her is it's like 2 or 3 scenes, and it's always in the hospital, and it's always her wanting to pull the plug. No, it makes no sense at all. I think what you mentioned in the graphic novel would have made a lot more sense. Not to discredit Megan Mullally, because she's a good actress, she's funny and everything.
Get paid.
And yeah, I mean she's very talented. Parks and Rec, great reoccurring guest role on that show, but she's unnecessary.
No.
Because you just need Bridget Fonda to struggle with it.
It's one of those things that, Rose McGowan had said in her thing, that it almost feels like this was one of the things that's direct meddling.
I feel like, yeah.
Because it would have given a little more emotion, the other side of everything that was going on, if they had Bridget Fonda struggling with the idea or, the concept of possibly pulling the plug on a boyfriend she knew was going to propose to her, but didn't get a chance to. Because at this point, she finds out.
Yeah, because Megan Mullally...
Did he give you the ring?
Which, another thing... Now, having seen Megan Mullally's character as being one that was so quick to want to pull the plug, would you think Brendan Fraser would confide in her like that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't feel that they would be super close.
Yeah, she very much seemed like someone who lived quite a distance, heard that it happened, and quickly got over it.
And they're very two diverging personalities. Like, he is like an artist struggling and one very low key type of person, and she is bombastic and materialistic, and everything about her screams like 80s chick.
Now I know this is the wrestling nerd in me, but when you said she was a very low-key person, I just pictured low-key playing this role.
Okay, let's move on. Let's just move on.
Come on, guys, you know low-key.
Let's move on.
Come on.
All right. So I thought Downtown at first was Artist Hell, and then that's when we find out, no, it's a coma. And, before we get to that, sorry, we do have to talk about the Rube Goldberg device that Brendan Fraser had designed to propose to Doc. Yeah,
with the picture of Monkeybone?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just pulls a string.
Now, to be fair, it does make sense when you get the backstory. It almost feels like you should get the backstory before they do that, because the whole backstory is that because Brendan Fraser's character had suffered from chronic nightmares and he was constantly drawing really dark things, as his doctor, she suggested her patient should draw with the other hand and see what comes out.
What the hell is that?
Well, I don't know if it's a thing, but for the purposes of the movie, it worked because she said that's how she created Monkeybone, because he was drawn so simply because he's drawing with his left hand.
Right. I get that.
And that's why Monkeybone would be part of the proposal.
But the thing is, like, when he drew with his right hand, he drew, like, horrific creations. And with his left hand...
absolute surgery nightmares.
Yeah. With his left hand, he drew Monkeybone. So, it's almost like an idle hand situation. Where
Maybe.
His right hand is possessed, but only to draw terrible things.
Only to draw...
not to murder Seth Green.
Yeah. And then we go back to downtown, and this is where we meet Monkeybone.
Who can rip his ears off and turn them into boobs.
Yep. He performs nightly at the bar there. And
a Marilyn Monroe lookalike.
And he starts singing a song about Julie, that's her name, wasn't it? Julie,
yeah.
That's the girlfriend, about her loose caboose. And
Baby got a loose caboose.
It upsets Brendan Fraser quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And rightly so.
Well, yeah. I don't think I would take too kindly to that.
Yeah, no. But I mean, again, isn't Monkeybone an offshoot of his personality? It's something that lives within his mind.
So you're saying that Brendan Fraser deep down thinks she got a loose caboose?
Well, either that or he just wants to objectify his girlfriend.
I mean,
there's a lot of really deep stuff that you get into this movie, and it's a shame that the movie is just flat as can be when you get right down to it. But when you talk about like the struggling of the id, the ego, different aspects of your personality that you don't recognize or anything like that, they all kind of exist in downtown with him as he's there.
Well, yeah, because it's almost like the movie wants to suggest there's a part of everyone's brain that kind of thinks like that, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's got a monkey bone.
Yes.
No, everyone's got a
Red Rocket.
Again, remember, you know what? And that makes sense too with the whole Monkeybone being his penis thing, because all Monkeybone thinks about is sex.
Banging, yeah, exactly.
Just banging chicks.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is also, I think this might even be later, but it's just a quick little thing I liked, is when Monkeybone is performing, he looks over at Brendan Fraser, and Brendan Fraser has drawn a picture of him shooting Monkeybone in the face.
Yes! He does capture Monkeybone and makes him get in a book bag.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, where'd he go?
Get in the pack.
He's been repressed. Which, again, is another part of the personality. But I do, at this point, Monkeybone gets out of the pack and crawls through Rose McGowan's dress.
Rose who?
Rose McMeowan. Luckiest monkey ever.
Oh, my lord.
He even says, I left my phone number in your panties.
Yeah, that line.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's strange too, because later on, like, there's a thing where Monkeybone is in the real world.
Yeah.
Not to jump ahead too much, and there's a female naked right there.
I've noted about that.
Yeah, he's not interested. But here,
he's not interested in that.
Oh well, he's not interested in that part. But I mean, that part struck me as odd.
A little odd, yeah.
There's a little bit of character.
But again, I think that joke, I think that's more studio than anything else.
It feels very studio.
Yeah, like, because he is lecherous to a T. Because he's singing about Julie's loose caboose, he's hitting on Rose McMeowan, he is just wants to nail anything that is of the female persuasion.
Yeah, and then the studio is just like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if he likes monkeys boning?
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of a lady?
Yeah.
And Henry Selick was like, yeah, you can just fire me now.
And then we get the line, he has to go choke his monkey, which,
right.
Fantastic.
Well, he does deliver it quite well.
I will say this, they nailed the stuff of nightmares things almost to a T. Like, the things that he sees in downtown that aren't people, that are, like, images of the nightmare, like the death, the bartender.
That giant eye.
Giant eye, how's it going, Stu? And it's like, whoa, man. Like, there's a lot of stuff that
I think there's a cow.
Yeah. Well, that's Bull, the bartender guy.
Well, no, there's another one that's like a cow, like a carnival type thing.
Oh, either way, nailed it.
It's terrifying.
Absolutely horrifying. So they figure the only way he's gonna get out of downtown and not have the plug pulled is to sneak down to where Death does all their work.
Right, because he finds out that
somebody gets an exit pass.
So you need to get an exit pass to get out of downtown.
Yeah.
Really, it's hell. Like it's pretty much hell, right?
I would say purgatory.
Purgatory, okay.
You're stuck in the middle.
Fair enough.
With you.
And I don't know what it is I should do.
Thank you.
Because in the real world, we find out Megan Mullally has basically ordered the plug to be pulled after 90 days, which the doctor said, after 3 months, it's kind of hit or miss after that, but he'll come back worse off after that point.
Right. But in the afterlife, he could be headed for some serious strife.
Now you make us seen all day, but tomorrow they'll be hell to pay. Hey, guess what? That song, also in Blast from the Past.
Oh, yeah?
In a party scene.
Oh, awesome.
That Brendan Fraser and Dave Foley
I just noted it because it was the theme for Dead Like Me. Or it wasn't Dead Like Me.
Dead Like Me, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that's fantastic. That's a fantastic little tune.
I just can't get over that song was used in another movie with the same two
guys.
Yeah. So anyway, Megan Mullally, I do like, as much as her character is unnecessary, she does have a funny little moment where she's like, I already gave the order, sorry, and she's like smoking outside of the room.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know if it'd be proto. Was Will and Grace on TV at the time?
2001, I would think so.
Either way, she's very, Karen, that was her character.
There we go.
Yeah, because she's just like self-absorbed, and it's just almost an extension of that character.
That's probably just a hope that, there you go. Studio, that proves it's probably a studio thing, because they probably said, hey, if we make her like Karen, people like Will and Grace, they might want to see her as Karen in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, almost guarantee Henry Selick did not have that character in this movie.
Yeah. So they get down to where Death, played by Whoopi Goldberg.
And she's pretending to blow up Pompeii.
Yeah, and her henchman, played by Thomas Hayden Church,
who is uncredited.
Is he?
He's not in the credits.
I did not notice that. I knew it was him. At first, I was like, I thought it was Jesus, who did I think? I thought it was somebody else. But then, as soon as he talked, I was like, nope, that's Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah. Looks all right to me.
Yeah.
He's uncredited in the movie.
I don't know why.
Well,
you would think though, because he'd been on Wings, that show that he was on with Deborah Messing.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
we are unraveling the truth today.
Just keep watching the skies. Don't trust the chemtrails. Truth is out there. Truth is out there.
Yeah, and Whoopi Goldberg is such a like, hey, look everyone, it's Whoopi Goldberg playing Death kind of role. You know what I mean? She doesn't really say anything that's not funny. It's just it's funny because it's Whoopi.
Well, I'll say this: I will honestly say Whoopi Goldberg hasn't acted since Ghost. Yeah.
She won an Oscar for it.
Yeah. Like any other time I've seen her, like The Color Purple, fantastic.
She's got an EGOT, I believe.
And what?
An EGOT?
An EGOT?
It's the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she's been in Color Purple, fantastic. Yeah. Ghost, really great job. Any other movie I've ever seen her, she's just an extension. It's just Whoopi Goldberg playing Whoopi Goldberg as this character.
I mean, she's made millions doing it, so
I can't fault her for it. But it is a shame because it's a shame when you know that someone can take range and act, and they kind of get stuck just playing themselves as that character.
Yeah, and that does happen a lot. Actually, I want to very briefly go back to the scene where Monkeybone tried to have sex with Rose McMeown.
Okay.
Because there's a line where he says, I don't write down the actual line, because basically he says, I'd ask for a stiff one, but basically he says, but Brendan Fraser didn't draw a dick on me.
He didn't endow me.
Yeah. I'd have sex with you, but I don't have a dick because of this guy.
Yeah. This guy. Anyhow, so they need to steal an exit pass.
Right. So, because when you go to Earth, you are shot into Abe Lincoln's mouth. Was that?
Yeah, you're sucked up into Abe Lincoln's mouth.
Abe Lincoln? All right.
The Great Emancipator.
Yeah,
That's even they even
Free
say
the
that.
slaves!
Yeah, he's freeing them, right?
You are uncover. We might uncover Al Capone's tomb in this episode.
I have a note here. The gin helps.
The what?
The gin helps. It's not a note for like what's going on in the movie or anything like that. I was drinking gin.
The
Gin helps.
I thought you meant the gin, like those ghost things from. I forgot what movie that is, but there's like.
The Wishmaster? No, not talking about them.
I was like, did I miss something?
Exploding death head?
There's a very...
Whoopi Goldberg's head explodes when they make off as death.
There's a very disturbing Indian gold statue thing that talks to Brendan Fraser and gives him the idea to get an exit pass.
I must have missed that.
It was very like you must get an exit pass, like really like
like laying it on thick. Eh?
Oh yeah. Also 3 months have passed. What?
Well, you got the big neck beard.
I mean, I get. Well, no, but like in the downtown, like it doesn't feel like 3 months have gone.
Well,
by.
I think that's the idea, though. I mean, because it doesn't exist in real time.
Before he goes to downtown to steal the exit pass, guess who's in this movie, guys? Gus from Breaking Bad.
Oh yes, Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah,
he plays a bug.
He's Lord Morpheus, the Lord of Sleep.
Yeah, but I mean, what is...
I thought he was the devil at first.
Yeah.
Until someone pointed out that it's Lord Morpheus.
From The Matrix?
No, not Lawrence Fishburne.
Is that what happened to him after The Matrix? He had to rule nightmares.
And I that was a situation where I was like, I'm blown away. I did not realize that he was in this movie.
It's so weird for me to see him in anything like after Breaking Bad. I like obviously seen him in other things, but never really thought of him much.
I liked him in Revolution.
What?
I liked him in Revolution. Was that
Giancarlo Esposito?
Yeah.
He's also in The Usual Suspects.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that again.
He's a detective in that movie.
All right.
The one that's not Chaz Palminteri. or
so overshadowed by that.
Or Dan Hedaya.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Giancarlo Esposito, and like he's definitely, I think he's down for this. Like he's definitely being goofy and over the top.
Well, I think the fact that he was in a ton of makeup kind of helps too. Like I mean,
yeah,
I didn't realize it was him until I was flipping through doing like some of the research and stuff on the movie.
Yeah, well that's what I was gonna say. Like it's so weird after like Breaking Bad to see him in a role where he's like showing emotion, especially like over the top emotion.
Yeah,
he's like so solemn in that show, right?
Yeah.
So it's very like jolting. But he's the one that gives them the idea.
Yeah, and they managed to get an exit pass.
Right, after dressing up as
one of the specters.
As one of the specters. Who, like, I'm sorry, but Death has got to be really stupid to buy that for as long as she does before she realizes it.
Hugh!
Hugh! Yeah, Monkeybone is, like, standing
Ow, don't bite me there!
He's, like, swaying back and forth like a drunk man.
It's like the 3 kids, or the 2 kids on BoJack Horseman. Jen, businessman.
Just the most unconvincing 2 people in a business suit type deal.
Yep.
Yeah, so they get the exit pass, but then, plot twist.
Double cross, by God! By God!
He's got a family!
I was like, Monkeybone, that exit pass doesn't belong to you! You should be ashamed!
Monkeybone is the Kama Mustafa of this movie.
So Monkeybone gets sucked up into Abe Lincoln's mouth and takes over the body of Brendan Fraser.
And this is where we get the real crux of the movie.
Where he wants to make sure his boner's there? Because he does that.
That's the first thing he checks.
Yeah.
He looks at his girlfriend and goes,
well, it's really cool because like when he comes back, they're going to pull the plug and everything, and you get this really, like, the camera work where they're flipping the camera around, everybody's talking, and then he, like, opens his eyes and he's back from the dead. And then he checks to see his boner's there.
And, like, my thinking now, I don't mean to get weird about this, but it's obviously Monkeybone, not Brendan Fraser. I'm surprised they didn't have a moment where he checked out Megan Mullally, too. Because he doesn't know that's not his sister.
Yeah, no concept about that.
Yeah.
But if she was inserted, if you'll pardon that pun, at the behest of the studio, that might not even have been called for in the original script.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Wow, we're really picking apart the studio interference. Too.
There's now that it's been kind of pointed out to me, I could actually see a lot of the glaring. I wish I'd known that when I was watching the movie.
Yeah, I only looked it up after.
So they're gonna leave the hospital, but before he does that, he gets a nice shave and gets sideburns and a douche patch.
Did she? But doesn't he wake up like that? When he wakes up,
he's got the beard because he's got the neck beard.
So did she decide to give him that douche patch?
I have a feeling that it was his decision, and I don't know if they did that to make him look more like a monkey's face.
Oh yeah,
because he's got the sideburns that come down like halfway out to the cheek, and then the patch is just down at the bottom, and it does kind of look like a cartoon monkey type face. He's faking with the facial hair.
And it's okay. The relationship between Stu and Monkeybone was strange too, because even before Monkeybone turned on him, he was trying to help him. Like he was trying to help Monkeybone like way more than I really felt like he would have wanted to.
Yeah.
Like the relationship was like all of a sudden they became friends like really quickly.
Well, I suppose, but I mean, again, it is maybe he came to recognize that it was part of his psyche.
Yeah.
The Monkeybone's just an extension of him, if you'll pardon that pun as well. Because remember, it's named after his boner.
Monkeybone is his extension.
Yeah.
So, this is where we get the most disgusting eating scene of all time.
Oh my god! I loved it! She made him or got him a cake that's like "Welcome Home, Stu" or something.
She shoves it into his face.
He just reaches in and grabs a handful and stuff it in his face. It says, "That's a bitchin' good cake."
Oh, just like licking his fingers and like,
"Here, do you want some?"
And then we get the other movie thing where it's kind of a movie trope where the dog is the only one who knows. You know what I mean? If something's awry,
yeah, because the dog's like
going
bananas,
chases him so much that he jumps up on the shelf like a monkey.
Yeah,
and he's like and
he's even going making monkey noises at him.
And his girlfriend's just like, well, he's just acting a little weird after the coma.
Because he had a coma. And this is actually where you see like Brendan Fraser, I gotta say, has range, because he's been very milquetoast throughout the first part of the movie. Even in Downtown, he's still like, he's put upon, he's frustrated, he's very like, he's kind of the straight man, he's surrounded by all the zaniness, and then when his body's been taken over by Monkeybone, he just does not GAF at all, and is just all over the place, screeching like a monkey, drinking champagne, like just chugging it back, which is exactly the way I drink champagne, by the way, and eating cake by the handfuls. Like, all the stuff that he does, they're interesting choices as an actor, but I mean, it shows that he knows that the difference between these two characters has to be so vast, and he does such a good job at it. There's so much good stuff in this movie, but it's not a good movie.
It's a weird anomaly.
Yes, perfect storm. Just of like I said, a perfect storm of terribleness.
Definitely better than the perfect storm, though.
Yes, more enjoyable for sure. A lot more yucks.
A lot less drowning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and like even during like the quieter moments where he's Monkeybone within Stu, it's even just like his resting facial expressions are different.
He looks more like unhinged.
Yeah. He's a good actor. He's an underrated actor.
And this is where we get the scene we were talking about earlier, where Bridget Fonda's like taking a shower. You see the silhouette and looking sexy as hell, and you think he's looking at her. And then they kind of pan out. He's not looking at the silhouette in the shower. He's watching National Geographic, where two monkeys are fucking.
Yeah, and like, you know what? I almost want to say that joke would work in almost any other movie, but where you've built him up as Monkeybone up as being a lecturous, like
anything, any female sort of thing,
especially human.
Yeah,
he wants to. Even when he sees her, when he first wakes up in the coma, he makes that thing.
Yeah.
So like clearly he's into like.
But again, like we said, that has got to be a thing that was put in by the studio or like the director they hired after they got rid of the good guy.
20th Century Fox, hit us up.
That's right.
Tweet us.
Don't, because you're awful people.
Wow. Whoever that exec was that made that decision is a moron.
I hope he got fired.
You nerd.
But he does, I guess, succumb to his wants, because when she gets out, he's like, oh, now I want to get it on. Which goes against what he was doing before, where he was all turned on by the monkeys and wasn't paying attention to the sexy lady. he is now super turned on by the Foxy Lady, so much so that they play Foxy Lady by Jimi Hendrix. Coming to get ya!
And like,
Foxy.
so is there like a word for being like bispecial, maybe?
Interspecies.
Interspecies, because like he clearly likes animals, but also people. So that's not like
Polysexual?
Polysexual,
I guess. Multiple.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad I just revealed a bit about myself there.
But
he starts doing all this like swinging and gymnastics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gets above her and is like, dive, dive, dive. And he gets some head trauma because she's like, fuck that noise, and she jumps out of the way and he bangs his head.
Also, we should mention Rose McMeown is very hot, but Bridget Fonda's looking pretty good too.
She's especially in this scene. She's looking quite good.
She's looking very good.
Yeah, but and then we go back to the coma
because he's
locked
back
away.
He's been arrested.
Yeah, and he's locked away with all these other people who were stuck there too.
And this is a strange scene because he meets Stephen King, which you would expect to be a cameo from Stephen King, but it's not
just
him.
Some dude who looks a lot like Stephen King.
Weird, right?
Well, another thing that I thought was weird was because this was right around the time that he was in that car accident and was in a freaking legit coma.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So, well, I heard that. Okay. Now, I looked it up because I wanted to know why he wasn't him. Yeah. And apparently he was supposed to be in the movie as himself.
Right.
So I don't know if it was because of that. No, it couldn't have been because they were riffing on that kind of, right?
No, because when they talk about it, it happened 20 years ago, he says.
Oh, I thought you meant it happened then.
Which actually would kind of lend to your credence that this might have been kind of in production hell.
Yeah.
Because I could see if this were like 1998 or 99 or something like that.
Happened
20 years ago would have been like 79.
Okay.
Right around the time he was kind of hitting it big with Carrie and Cujo and Firestarter. So because when he's stuck in downtown because Cujo took his exit pass.
Which I think it would have been funnier if it was really Stephen King playing the role.
Yeah,
because then it would have been like he was kind of poking fun at himself. It's fine, but like it's kind of like a missed. Anyway, so I learned that he was gonna do it. At the last minute, he couldn't do it. So, and that's why the guy says his name is Steve King.
Oh, okay.
And also in the credits, he's only credited as Man in Dungeon.
Is he?
I guess they didn't. But isn't that weird though? Because like if they were originally gonna get Stephen King when he couldn't do it, like
you think he'd be like, fine, it's okay, use somebody who looks like me,
but don't credit him as me. Like don't credit the role, like the character as Stephen King.
Character Stephen King played by Joey Extra or whatever.
Yeah, that's strange. Even just like saying Steve King, like.
Well, that's the thing. Like if you say Steve King, everybody thinks Steve.
Yeah.
Right, and he doesn't spell it that way. He spells it with a PH.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But like clearly they're talking about
Stephen King. They even name drop Cujo.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah. Although there's a really good part where there's a really funny line where he says, again, it would have been funnier if it was Stephen King, but he says, did you see about my nightlight? And then Edgar Allan Poe is like, King, you pussy.
Yeah. who was there because the Raven stole his exit. You know what?
Why wasn't Edgar Allan Poe playing himself in this role? Or what's it, Lizzie Borden? I mean, come on.
I was kind of. I get they're trying to get the broader people to understand that, you know, a character that Stephen King would have done, or even that Edgar Allan Poe was responsible for, the Raven and Cujo and stuff like that. But there were so many other characters that would have been better to be picked to be the person who took the took Stephen King's exit pass, or took Edgar Allan Poe's exit pass. Randall Flagg. If anybody's a Stephen King nerd, Randall Flagg would have been the perfect character to take Stephen King's exit pass. He's the Dark Man, or the guy from The Stand.
The Stand. That's
he's been in a few of the. He's been in a bunch some other works too. The Dark Tower stuff.
Okay.
Everything. So he is kind of like a.
Oh, by the way, The Dark Tower coming soon to a theater near you.
Can't wait. Really can't wait.
To throw that in there.
There you go. So that would have been a better character, but again, only people who are like hardcore Stephen King fans probably would have got it.
Yeah, but I also found it weird that it was like Stephen King, Edgar Allan Poe, and then the rest were just like leaders and like historical figures and murderers and stuff. Which is, it
would have made more sense if they'd all been artists.
Yeah.
You know,
pick one theme.
Well, especially if you're going with the concept that like all the stuff is created by that artist. That
seems like a Henry Selick studio argument.
It's a possibly.
Like, I want to put all artists in. No, it would be funny if you put Genghis Khan. What? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. And why would he even still be there?
Right, he'd be dead by then.
Yeah.
Like a long dead.
Long dead.
There's no famous Genghis Khan in a coma story.
Right.
Like you said, Stephen King. It makes sense. Edgar Allan Poe doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make sense because when they say it takes place, is like it would have been like the early 80s or late 70s.
Oh, this movie had to have been ready to go in the late 90s.
Yeah.
I think so.
But
anyway,
we'll move on.
Bite me, Poe. That's what he says to him.
Yeah.
Bite me, Poe. So we go back up to Earth.
And this is where we're going to see
He's doing his big speech.
Yeah.
His Sermon on the Mount.
Yeah.
Monkeybone as Brendan Fraser is just ranting about like merchandising and
and he wants to be
that point,
merch.
You got to be like, everybody should be like, this is clearly not him, or like this is like he's on something.
Yeah, because he has done a complete 180 on his views of merchandising and selling out sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is where we get the fart butt Monkeybone.
Oh yeah,
because the toy itself, because it's a key plot point later. It has its thumb jumped up its butt.
Now is that the? Oh no, that's a different meaning. Okay, no, go ahead. Yeah,
and he pulls it out and it's like
because okay, we should say that the reason Monkeybone went up there is he made a deal with Gus.
Yep.
They want more nightmares because Brendan Fraser, whatever, has stopped having them. So they want him to go up and create nightmares for them so they can watch them and be entertained, I guess?
Yes, because they do say that the nightmares and stuff are like films for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess they all only watch horror films.
I would do the same.
Yeah, that's if you gotta choose. Horror films, comedies, either way you're good.
Yep.
So he's okay. So when he's having those meetings, the thing that stuck out to me was one of the people he meets with is a fast food chain called Burger God.
Yes,
and they're all like door to door religious, like
they look like Mormons.
It's taken very literally.
Yeah.
Like Burger God,
and they're the ones that they have pig guts.
Oh yeah. They mentioned that earlier in the movie. They bring it up again.
They're the ones that had pig, the rat guts and the fries. No, it was pig guts. So it's practically pork.
Dave Foley sells the shit out of that line.
Oh, that's his job, man.
Yeah.
And so they want to get on board with Monkeybone so they can have like their version of the Happy Meal with Monkeybone. Brendan Fraser is eating one of their burgers and they find pig gut.
Which, okay, if you're going to present an idea to someone, try not to have the pig gut burger.
Yeah. But the best part is, and this is where, again, all the red flags should have been going off, is where he leans over to Dave Foley and is like, how much did McDonald's want to pay? Much, much less. We're in business!
Yeah. So they're saying Burger God is a bigger enterprise than McDonald's?
Or they're willing to plunk down more money.
That's hard to believe, though.
Well, if they think that Monkeybone's going to be a huge success.
So he takes the deal, he takes all of the deals, all the money, and he even has this line where he said, they're talking about charity, and he's like, oh yeah, that'll make us look good, right? And Dave Foley's like, yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that Dave Foley would have been saying, and if the guy who has been adamantly against this from what we're known at years, is suddenly saying, let's do it, let's put on our charitable face. He should have been like, something's up.
We also forgot to mention that Bridget Fonda, you said she's a doctor,
yes,
specializes in, she works at the Sleep Institute.
Right.
And we also forgot that Monkeybone as Brendan Fraser had that fight, or is that coming up now?
Where they have
the fight he has with the actual monkey? When he breaks in. No, this is after. This is coming up. But basically Bridget Fonda thought that she brought him back because she inserted nightmare juice.
Yeah, I love that super scientific usage. She basically gives him a drug which induces nightmares, which I don't think is a thing.
Henry, we think it'd be cool if you had nightmare juice.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, it is required for the plot point of the spreading of the nightmares, because that's what Monkeybone wants to replace the fart gas with.
Yes.
And I don't know, Smilex?
From Batman?
The Batman, yeah.
Love that Joker.
Yeah, so when they pull the thumb out of the monkey's ass, instead of getting sprayed in the face with just, fart odor, they get this particulate solution, kind of like the Scarecrow's weaponized hallucinogen from Batman Begins.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah. They get that right in the face.
Because you get waking nightmares.
Yeah. Well, actually, they don't make that super clear. Because at first, he does it. He tests it out on the dog.
Poor dog.
And the dog has a nightmare where people with cat heads are trying to neuter him with gardening shears. Which, again, if you're a dog, that's probably super terrifying. But he has it while he's sleeping.
It looks like the fakest thing ever, though. Like, the cat heads are, like, clearly, like, I don't know, Photoshop or whatever, but they look like just pasted right on.
Yeah. But it's fine, because it's a dream, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I kind of got to jump ahead at this point. But Dave Foley does it, and he has, like you said, a waking nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, they got the particulate mixed too strong or whatever, but he's not asleep when he starts hallucinating.
Dave Foley's character path is horrifying.
Oh, I know, right? But it's straight out of, like, a Kids in the Hall episode.
Yeah.
Like, I could see a character like that having an arc over an episode where he goes from being normal to being absolutely insane at the end of the episode throughout, like, little sketches during the episode.
Have you seen my pen?
Yeah, well, Bruce, but still.
No, but
same idea.
I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask if you've seen my pen.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the dog nightmare thing. So he goes into the basically Stu Monkeybone as Stu
Breaks
gets
into
this
the lab.
great idea because Gus can invade his dreams.
Yes.
What?
Well, he is Lord Morpheus.
But like that was never.
It's never a thing, but it does lend to some sort of, I guess, reasoning because he is supposed to be the god of sleep.
Yeah.
A proto Sandman, if you will.
Oh, Thomas Hayden Church.
There you go.
That's where he was like, well, I was in a movie where a guy was kind of the Sandman.
Unraveling this whole thing.
I'll take the part.
So that makes sense that he'd be able to do that, or that would be within his scope.
Yeah. I just thought it
does odd. Like, yeah. He only does it the one time.
He turned into Freddy Krueger. Well, also the fact that when he does it, Stu wakes up and he's got like scratches on him, like from the dream. Like his shirt is like ripped.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so he can like Krugerize him too.
There you go. All right.
So he goes to get the nightmare juice. He's going to the Sleep Institute because
this is where you were talking about the fight with the monkey.
Yeah. He's gonna put the nightmare juice in the toys with the farting monkey bone toys.
Yep.
Which who's gonna buy that?
We talked about this in the last Garbage Pail. In the Garbage Pail Kids, any kid with a juvenile sense of humor that likes gross fart noises or booger jokes, so anyone from the age of 9 to, I'm even going to go as far as 16 in this situation, even in high school, because it may not be Garbage Pail Kids, but I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of jocks who think farting is hilarious. Poop is funny to them.
So do I, and I think some of them may intertwine with each other. But I mean, even in terms of just like practicality, though, like with that I don't even think that would last.
No, it's one of those things that if it was a legitimate something that was sold, you would see it on eBay 15 years later, unopened, still in the package, fart juices still intact.
Unless they sold like the cartridges like separately to refill.
Well, there you go. See, you could make merchandising. There you go. Like, get on it.
Won't call it Monkeybone. We'll call it like Monkey Stone or something.
No, we could just do it up with us. A Brendan doll with a stone up his ass. You get your. What were they thinking? Official merchandise.
If we ever do, that's gonna be the first one. We're both gonna have one.
Oh, of course, yeah. Of course. Mine'll smell like strawberries.
That'll be off.
This is falling apart. Come on, let's get back on track.
Sorry, guys. We have to have a pitch meeting here in a second. Okay, so he fights. So he gets the nightmare juice. He fights. He sees an actual monkey.
Yep.
And he seduces it to give him the nightmare juice back. Which again,
kisses.
Yeah.
The monkey.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser will do anything for the craft.
Right on the mouth.
Oh.
And he starts putting the nightmare juice into the monkey bone dolls, and like you said, he tested out on the dog.
Yeah.
I guess that was earlier, but yeah, he starts putting them into the dolls, the fart dolls.
Yep.
And I think at that point we go back to to Brendan Fraser? Because I think this is his big escape.
Yes, the jailbreak from because Rose McMowan helps him.
Rose McMowan fucking eats the guard and kills him in like cold blood.
That is definitely that's not a studio choice.
No, that's like the
like
most.
I said, there's so much. There's glimpses of greatness in this movie.
That's the most Henry Selick moment of this entire film, because he looks and he kind of looks like quizzically at her, and she's like, "Just go," and then you hear, like she devours him.
But he gets caught.
Yep.
And gets put on the rack.
Right, he gets stretched
by Thomas Hayden Church.
And who really wants to stretch him? Like he's like itching for it.
Yeah.
But Whoopi has a heart of gold.
She does.
She's death with a heart of gold.
Death with a heart of gold, yeah.
And she gives him another shot.
Well,
but he has to take.
That's my note, because she starts talking about how she's misunderstood and she's had bad days. You know, I don't need to deal with this. I have a hard enough life as it is. I didn't people breaking into my place, stealing my stuff. And I was like, man, Dad's got problems too.
She does.
There you go, right? Yeah, well, no one bluer than the Grim Reaper, I guess. So he gets his exit pass, and how does he get out of Death's realm?
She kicks him in the ass.
Right in the ass. Just boots him square in the hole.
When she said...
I don't know if that's studio or Selick. That's a really hard one to discern between.
You could almost have an entire... Like, if we knew the answers, you could almost have an entire quiz called Studio or Selick.
There you go. Just centered on Monkeybone.
That feels like... I feel like if it was studio, he'd also fart when she kicked him.
No, he wouldn't get kicked in the ass. He would just bend over and his way out of Death's realm. Farts are hilarious, guys. Trust me, we'll put it in the movie. It'll be huge.
Oh, whatever. Just am I done? Yeah, you're fired.
You're fired.
I feel like here when she said bend over, I was a little worried that it was gonna be something else.
Yeah.
Because Thomas Hayden Church was right there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Fair.
He would have turned him sideways.
Oh! There you go. Brendan got it one end.
Hey.
So he gets sent back to Earth. He needs a new vessel. And we get some, again, more cast pedigree. Chris Kattan.
You know what? He is fantastic.
He is. And Bob Odenkirk is in this movie.
Yep.
Like, this, another Breaking Bad, though, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
This, I can't overstate it enough. Like, the amount of talent that is in this movie, that is involved in this movie, and for it to fall as flat as it does is such a disappointment.
Yeah, like, this is also a thing with Bob Odenkirk, because basically they end up chasing Chris Kattan.
Yeah.
And
who has a broken neck, by the way.
Yeah, just amazing.
Yeah.
Great physical acting. But, like, I was every time Monkeybone as Brendan Fraser was on screen, I was like, "Oh, if you want to find Stu, you better call Saul."
I think that they really should have got Mr. Peepers. Just they had Chris Kattan.
Just put him in the movie somewhere. No, like his like the whole thing where his neck is like tilted over and he uses the tape and he has like a board behind his head.
I actually recently found out that he actually sustained an injured neck or a broken neck on a show or a movie or something, and never told anybody about it because he was afraid that he wouldn't get like booked for roles or work.
Was this pre-Monkeybone?
I don't know. It was like 20. I think he said 20 years ago, so it would have had to have been.
So yeah, because if it was that might explain a lot then, because then if he knew, sorry, I am distracted by a cat.
A cat.
If he knew...
McMowan.
It's not Rose McMowan.
I wish.
Oh my god. We're going to take a break, guys.
See you in a couple hours.
What the hell was I saying?
We were talking about Chris Kattan and his fantastic physicality in this movie.
Yeah, like if he had actually had a broken neck in the past, he would have like known how to.
Well, I don't know if it was that severe, but it was like a compressed vertebrae or something.
No, but I mean like I don't know. I think it still would have helped him figure out the physicality of it.
Yeah, and he, like you said, he does some fantastic work.
Oh yeah, he's great. And even like his regular acting, like it's fine, it's good. He's good.
He's underrated. I gotta ask, was the hospital that he escaped from, was that the same hospital they used to film Scrubs?
I don't know.
Because when he ran out that side door and down, it really looked like the back section of Sacred Heart from the show.
I also like that when he runs out and suddenly wakes up from being a corpse, the doctors aren't like, oh my god, a corpse just woke up. They're like, hey, we want our organs.
Get her back here with our organs, yeah.
They're chasing him for the rest of the movie.
And they're in their SUV.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they've got the surgeon mobile.
Just Saul and his doctors.
Ah.
I better call Saul and the Organ Doctors. Sounds like a band.
Saul and the organ doctors. Saul and the surgeons. There you go.
Oh, shit.
25 cents every time you use it.
Shut it down.
But this is where we, the whole time this is happening, they're doing the presentation of the, all the Monkeybone merchandise and the pilot and everything like that. Dave Foley has taken a hit off the nightmare juice and is having his living nightmare, and we get streaking Dave Foley.
And I read that Dave Foley being Dave Foley, he was really naked.
I do not doubt that in the least. Dude, I unfortunately have seen the movie Postal.
Oh.
It is awful, and you see Dave Foley's wang.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, not at all. I really feel bad for Zach Ward and Dave Foley for being in that movie. But I sat through that thing.
Zach Ward's in the movie too?
He's the friggin' protagonist.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wait, we're talking
Titus.
I actually interviewed him for the Game It All website a while back. Yeah.
He's a solid guy. He seems like a real nice guy.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So anyways, streaking Dave Foley and some misguided generosity I have here. I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know. I like how a few of your notes are just like mysteries.
I think the gin was hitting me hard at this point.
And this is, again, we mentioned this already, but this is where I was confused about how now it's waking nightmares. And I did mention, I even wrote down like the Scarecrow from Batman Begins. I got a question.
Yeah?
Does the following line deserve a rim shot? Hey, forget about the naked man with the purple face.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's so funny.
It's not a pun, it's not a joke.
There's no
it's
joke
not
there whatsoever.
We get Brendan.
Studio.
Yep. Brendan, and as well as this is totally 100% studio. Brendan Fraser singing "She's a Brick House."
Yes, and he is an absolute putz in this whole scene. Like the white. I don't want to be Rachel about the whitest performance of Brick House ever.
But you know what?
Ever.
Again, he is just fucking giving his all.
He does not phone it in. That is not in Brendan Fraser's playbook.
He does check out a woman's vagina on his way down while he's sliding through. And Bridget Bonner's just kind of like
notices. She's like, wait a second.
Yeah. Which, I think, by this point, she kind of has it in her head that something is really wrong.
Yeah.
So, to her credit, at least she's smarter than most of the people in this movie.
And then he, as Monkeybone in Brendan Fraser, proposes to her. And she's like, that's a new ring? She's expecting Grandma's ring, right?
Yeah,
that's what she was told.
Which Catan has gone to the house.
Him, yeah.
Again, the dog recognizes him because he knows it's
and
really
he's
him.
super cool with him.
And
he begs his neighbor not to call the cops.
Don't call the cops! And he's
Come
like,
on, it's really
around.
me! And I'm like...
Yeah.
But, and then he goes, well, yeah, it's... Did you want a used ring?
Yeah. So then Catan shows up, and
he's got the used ring.
Which eventually does. She's not convinced at first. She thinks he's a crazy person.
But he calls her Doc.
Yeah. Which wouldn't anyone that knows she's a doctor could just call her Doc?
I guess.
It's again another thing. It's like that thing.
If it was more of a term of endearment that was just between the two of them.
It's
like,
I'm sorry if you hear any background noise. It's the cat taking a poop.
Like in Ghost with Ditto.
Yeah. But that's a
good example.
Set up.
Yeah, and so if there was something like that,
it's like, you know what it reminds me of? A previous movie we've done. You used to do this funny thing to say I love you. Remember Criminal?
Oh my god!
He touches her nose.
Yeah. He's like with the face thing. It's like people do that all the time.
It's like the face water fountain and face off.
He's like.
I feel like anytime that any of those things are like written, okay, Doc makes sense and Ditto makes sense, but like those two, are like written by like insane people or aliens that don't understand humans.
It would have been hilarious if you used like their safety word. Sacramento.
Oh.
She knows exactly what it means.
Bridget Fonda. I know it's Brendan Fraser in there, but she kisses a corpse.
Oh yeah, he is legitimately dead and taped up his middle section.
Yeah,
because his organs would fall out.
Yeah, and she kisses him on the mouth.
Yeah, he is a rotting corpse.
Whew, that also messes with like
he's a terrible security guard too, by the way.
Is that cheating?
And I wouldn't classify it. Like,
no,
because he knows it's him, and she knows it's him.
Yeah.
So it's just a festival.
It'd probably feel weirder for her. I mean, it's a different person.
Hopefully, she never.
Going from Brendan Fraser to Chris Kattan. I mean,
rotting Chris Kattan.
Rotting Chris Kattan.
I really hope that she never, as a character, she never ever later on thought, I made out with a dead guy.
Oh, that the sequel is just her living with that.
Just nightmare. Her living with that. Her horror. her necrophilia. Yeah, so
the studio didn't let Henry Selick make that movie.
So the security guard's trying to take him away. That's when they have their exchange, and he's an awful security guard because he's like yelling, and the security guard stops to let him continue to yell.
Yeah,
shouldn't his job get him out of the door as quickly as possible?
He takes his time.
Yes, he does.
We have I think this is where we get the fight scene between Chris Kattan and.
Oh, but before that, she's crying about the whole thing, and he says, her, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm crying too, but I don't have any tears because he's dead, right?" And then he wipes away a tear, where a tear should be or something. He wipes it away like it's there. Awful choice.
Weird.
But then we get the fight, which really this whole last thing. If you're just looking. From the outside looking in, this looks like insanity.
They're
unhinged,
they're hanging by a rope.
Yep.
Not hanging by a rope. They're hanging on two ropes.
Yeah.
From a giant Monkeybone air balloon.
Yep.
Which, by the way, what? And they're like kicking at each other. I have a note here at this part. It just says organ burgers.
Oh, it's because parts of his organs start falling out as they're floating over. One falls on the grill, and a kid's takes one as a hamburger and he doesn't realize it.
He even goes, Did you notice that?
Yeah, no.
He thinks it looks good. Because Saul and the surgeons are going around collecting the organs that are falling out of him.
Catching a lung. And at one point he starts hucking the organs at Brendan Fraser. And that's why my note. Organ fight.
I actually laughed pretty hard when he started chucking organs.
But then it all culminates with a balloon butthole. And I don't mean a balloon knot as a person. They shoot the Monkeybone in the butt. Right in the butt. They make a butthole so he's farting essentially as the balloon is deflating and they're coming down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because the cop just shoots it.
Yeah, there's two living people there. He thinks they're living because he doesn't realize Chris Kattan is a corpse, a dead gymnast, Olympian.
That's right.
And blows a hole in the balloon. Yeah.
Yeah, talk about the bad security guard. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This police officer.
Yeah.
But they crash land to Earth, and they're both. Okay, here's the part that was strange for me. Okay, I can understand Monkeybone ending up back in the downtown because he dies again, quote unquote, right?
Or gets knocked unconscious.
Stew, yeah,
because they're not dead, they're in comas.
Or possibly goes in a coma. But Kattan's character is already dead.
Kattan's body's already dead, but his existence, Brendan Fraser's existence, is in his head.
But
so if he got hit on the head, he could still technically be knocked out because he's still kind of technically alive. I guess, but I don't know if that would send him back down though. That reasons. God damn you, studio! It might have been Selick. Imagine if everything we said was studio was the other way around. All the terrible things. Wow, 20th Century Fox are brilliant. What the hell was Selick thinking? What the hell were you smoking, Hank? They get but they do go back to downtown or Darktown or whatever. And can we
Can we talk about who's there to greet them in what kind of like manner?
Go right ahead.
Well, Death is operating a giant robot for no reason at all.
Well, I mean, it is downtown, and things are odd down there, so.
I know. She does have a good line, though.
She does. She takes a good little dig at Matt and Trey, because when she, like, lets Stu go back, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. I'll take the South Park guys. They've been dying to meet me, or something like that.
I don't get that part of it, though. They've been dying. Are they just, she's saying they're bad people?
I don't, mate, but there's also, like, there is the Death has been on South Park a couple times. Like, one of the first episodes, I guess, like, the third or fourth episode in the first season, Death actually comes for Kenny.
Yeah.
Like, it's legitimately Death, like, the Grim Reaper and everything.
And this is only a few years into the show, so it's pretty early on.
Yeah.
South Park was big at this time.
Yeah, this would have been, I think, just after Bigger and Longer and Uncut had come out.
So she smacks Monkeybone and Brendan Fraser together to put him back in his head, because she says, as Stu, on your own, you're pretty lame, but with Monkeybone,
you're all right. Yeah. Which again leads to the concept that Monkeybone is just a part of his personality.
So if she wouldn't have smacked them back together, would that mean that he would have erectile dysfunction for the rest of his life?
Can't get the Monkeybone back.
Every time I see an old flabby woman, I can't get a boner anymore.
Well, he goes back, and when he wakes up, he's in the ambulance.
And he just sits right up, and the ambulance driver just goes, ah!
Where's the dickweed facial hair that he had?
The ambulance driver is shaving. He takes the razor from him to shave him off. Why is the ambulance driver shaving? Like, buddy, you're gonna be driving pretty fast most of the day.
Look, I know he's unconscious, possibly dead. I just got this 5 o'clock shadow I gotta take care of. No, paramedics do not do that.
He immediately shaves off the douche. What do you
the soul patch?
Douche patch.
Yeah, and then the sideburns, and yeah.
And reunites with Bridget Fonda, and everybody's so happy.
But we get an awesome Kids in the Hall ending.
Yeah.
Because naked Dave Foley shows up, he's like screaming, "Take off your clothes, people! Take off your clothes!"
Yeah, for Dave Foley, the ending is not happy.
He will live. He is still tripping balls on that hallucinogen.
I don't think his character... And that's why I was talking about his character earlier, because I don't think his character is that evil that he deserves such a horrific
No, he doesn't.
ending.
He definitely doesn't.
He is living the rest of his life in horrified paranoia.
Well, I don't know, it might wear off eventually, but as for now, he is still a purple-faced terror.
It's been a while, though. A lot of stuff has happened. And that, oh no, sorry. I totally forgot about the last thing we see.
And what's,
the cartoon?
Oh, you're talking about all the people taking their Monkeybone faces, like taking their faces off, and they're all Monkeybone.
What was that? They're just like, oh, got 30 seconds to fill.
Maybe we all have a little bit of Monkeybone in us.
I guess.
Bridget Fonda probably had some. When it was all said and done, because I mean, she's a fiance. And everything.
Well, there's commercials for people who don't have monkey bones.
Our podcast brought to you by Cialis.
Hey, you're gonna make a joke. You're gonna make a movie about a guy whose monkey is basically his penis. We're gonna make some penis jokes.
Get used to it.
Yeah, punk.
Who are you talking to?
I don't know. Listeners.
Okay.
Henry Selick. He's listened to this podcast. He's a big fan. But yeah, don't take our word for it though.
Yes, don't take our word for it.
Oh wow.
Let's see what we got here.
This one doesn't have a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. No, like
because
our film last week.
I said, there are some legitimate enjoyable parts in this movie.
I believe it has a 27, but it might be lower than that.
Oh.
But this one actually is perfectly akin to what you said earlier from Real Film Reviews. This is a positive review.
Okay.
They said Monkeybone is kind of like a Tim Burton movie, except it wasn't directed by Tim Burton.
Spot on.
This is a fairly vaguely positive review. This is the only other one I found. Well, there's a lot, but if you're interested in craziness, loony-looking critters, and other people's nightmares, there are worse ways to spend 90 minutes.
Ouch.
From the San Diego Metropolitan. There was no traffic reports afterwards.
Chicago Reader. You can almost see money dripping off the walls of the sets and cyber sets in this special effects extravaganza. Would you describe it that way?
You can almost see money dripping off the wall. Well,
special effects extravaganza.
Well, downtown, you can see there's a lot of money at work there.
Okay.
Do you think, like, I mean, we said that there's a lot of, like, good people in this movie, but do you really, I don't see any of them as being, like, 20 million a movie, except for maybe Brendan Fraser.
He had a pretty big star at that time.
I mean, Whoopi Goldberg is a big name, but how long is she in it? Like 5 minutes?
Well, they also got Jonathan Turturro as the voice for Monkeybone.
Yeah, again, a voice role though.
Yeah.
That would have been. We didn't even mention John Turturro at all.
No,
but
so much so that I had forgotten that it was John Turturro, and for the time leading up to this, I kept thinking John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
because it definitely seems to be a role that would have been perfect for him.
See, I had heard that it was Brendan Fraser doing like both.
Oh yeah.
And then so I said, well, I started watching the movie. I'm watching it for like 15 minutes. Like, that's not Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
And no, I mean he's good. His voice works.
Time Out says the design is often brilliant, although the film is nowhere near as tasteless or as funny as it ought to be.
This is a very negative review. This movie doesn't seem to have a purpose other than to fill space.
Ouch.
And I think this I just have one more here. This kind of sums up. This kind of sums it up well. It's from the Globe and Mail.
Oh, Canada.
Why do I still have a soft spot for this flick? Because there are glimmers of intelligence in this mess, because it must have driven the marketing department crazy, and because it fails so differently than all those run-of-the-mill failures.
Okay.
I mean, probably. And like it does, like it fails in a way that's not as horrifying to see as like most of the movies we've done. a good selection of the movies we've done.
E-Film Critic, a crass and frantic comedy fantasy. A crass and frantic comedy fantasy pitched alternately, I think, at 10-year-olds or at stoned college students. So basically, they're saying this is the demographic that you're looking at: kids who like gross things or stoned jocks. I feel that some of the parts of the movie are actually too smart for those people, but there are some points that hit that right on the nose. Monkey fart doll, right on the nose.
Yep. Yeah, this is one of those, like, it's just one of those movies that's like a complete misfire, but like the effort is kind of appreciated. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's some real, like you said, there's some good things buried in this movie, but it's just not executed well.
Not really. No.
Selick Studio.
Wow.
Like we said.
No punches pulled in this one. A largely frustrating 90-minute experience.
It's just straight to the point.
Yep.
At least they don't just say it's there to fill space.
Someone at the Palo Alto Weekly stated Selick does his cast a major disservice. I take umbrage with that because I feel that the studio did the cast the disservice in this situation, because I felt the stuff that you could tell was clearly Selick's doing was really, really good.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier about the Rose McGowan thing, like I buy that.
Yeah.
I completely 100% buy that, because like you look at his other movies and like all his other movies are good to great.
Yeah.
Like James and the Giant Peach is not the best movie ever made, but it's a good one.
It's a great kids movie.
It's a great kids movie.
Coraline
I actually have not
amazing.
I actually have not seen Coraline.
I love that movie.
But I've heard really good things.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas is fucking everybody loves that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you look at the Thing with Fantastic Four and Josh Trank, he made one other movie, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
This superhero teenager movie there. Chronicle.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was alright.
It wasn't like I was like, well, he made Chronicle, so this movie is...
To be fair, Chronicle kind of made on the cheap, but you get right down to it. It's a found footage movie.
Yeah, to do a found footage movie and then do like a fucking Marvel superhero movie.
Exactly. So, yeah, that was Monkeybone.
That was Monkeybone, guys.
I would recommend watching it.
Yeah.
For as flat as it falls... there are some genuinely good stuff, good things going on in that movie. So it's definitely worth the watch. Don't go out of your way like you have to watch it. But I mean, if you catch it on like Netflix or anybody has like Amazon Prime or something where they can watch it for as part of a monthly subscription, check it out. It's a fun movie and there's some fun stuff going on in it.
And if you're bored during the movie, just play Selick or Studio.
Yeah, there you go.
And if you want to get some more laughs out of it, just think about every time Monkeybone's on screen, just think of him as a penis.
Perfect. All right.
So I guess I should. That was viewer's choice, pick number 2, and I think I said at the top it was from Lindsay. Mm-hmm. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Well, more of a genuine thank you than last week. So next week, I guess I should hint, we will probably have a guest next week.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a guest for the next 2,
the
last 2 viewers' choice films. So I'm just going to make this a fairly vague clue, and I've given this clue before, because we are entering the Marvel Universe once again. We are... I will say we are entering the Marvel Universe, but it's not as old of a film.
Okay.
So it's not like 1990. We're not going to the 70s or the 80s.
Captain America again.
No, we're not doing Captain America a second time.
Yikes.
I mean, the Chris
rubber ears.
The Chris Evans one.
What were they thinking with that movie?
Well, what a disaster! But did you I noticed when we came in here, you looked a little bit inquisitive. I don't know if you had a specific question. Or...
Well, no. I actually. Do you have anything you want to promote or anything like that before?
I believe you do.
I do. I just thought I'd give the floor to you. I mean, if you have anything you want to.
I don't think so. We got 2 more episodes coming up this month. Again, it's every week in April, as you've already seen, because we are April 11th today. Because it's live. Totally live!
Totally live, folks.
No, I don't think I have anything.
Okay, well, check out Montrose Monkington TV on YouTube. I didn't promote it in the last podcast, but I'm rectifying it. I had a 90-minute reminder here, because we were talking about monkeys incessantly. Or you can also join his Facebook group, Montrose Monkington III, Esquire, and Friends on Facebook. All kinds of videos from the monkey puppet and his general tomfoolery, as well as his comments and posits on pop culture and professional wrestling. So Montrose Monkington TV on YouTube and Montrose Monkington III, Esquire, and Friends on Facebook.
I noticed you said Montrose and his general tomfoolery, so for Monkeybone, would it be Monkeybone and his genital tomfoolery?
Good. You've ruined it all, Brendan.
But no, I know you did have a question.
I do have one more question.
I mean, I'm always here to
in a movie where a cartoon monkey serves as a surrogate for an erect penis, and where a doctor sleeps with one of her patients. Where your best friend, who's really not that bad, turns out to be a good guy, but ends up on hallucinogens for the rest of his life, and is just trying to do his job. In a movie where Gus Fring is the Lord of Sleep, and Thomas Hayden Church is the sadomasochistic henchman for Whoopi Goldberg death. And Rose McGowan gives me all kinds of confused thoughts about cosplay and women dressed up like cats. I just have one thing I have to ask.
What?
What were they thinking?